Good morning and welcome to the First Unitarian Society. My name is Kelly Crocker and I'm one of the ministers here. Today I'm joined by my colleague, the Reverend Kelly Asbruth Jackson, and the worship team of Drew Collins, Linda Warren, Stephen Gregorius, and Daniel Carnes. And a very special welcome and thank you to our guest musician, Catherine Clewett. Thank you, Catherine. At First Unitarian Society, we question boldly, listen humbly, grow spiritually, act courageously, and love unapologetically. If you're visiting us today, welcome. We're so very glad that you are here. If you'd like more information about our activities and programs, please stop by the welcome table after service today, located in the Commons to your right, next to the elevator. We also hope that you'll be able to stay and join us for coffee hour immediately following service, also in the Commons. Our name tag project continues, and our welcoming congregation renewal team has begun creating the new tags. If you haven't filled out a form yet, please take a moment to do so after service so that a new one can be waiting for you upstairs in January. And for those of you connecting with us virtually today, welcome to you as well. We hope that you'll be able to take a moment after service today and watch the announcements slides, which will be shown briefly, so that you can see what's happening here at First Unitarian. And now, I invite you to join us in a moment of silence as we center ourselves and bring ourselves fully into this time, joining together once again in community. And now the time of lengthening dark has come.
The earth, in her great dance around the sun, has come inevitably to the solstice, a time of extremes, of distance, of darkness and light.
In our hemisphere, we experience this time as one of cold darkness, shortening days, lengthening nights. The earth is tipping, from our perspective, further and further away from the sun. We wait, but the moment when the darkness is greatest is not entirely predictable.
The spinning dance of the earth continues, but for one brief instant, when the axis of the earth's rotation crosses the line through the center of our orbit around the sun, the tipping stops, and for a moment we seem to stand suspended in space, pulsing with potential movement and ongoing life.
Then, like a child's top that almost fell over, we are saved by the spin and lifted up once again toward the light. And we invite you now to rise in all the ways we do, and join together in the words of affirmation as we light our chalice. Our chalice holds the elements of the four directions: earth, air, fire, water. The lamp oil for earth, the air that feeds the flame, the fire we light, and the chalice itself, the cup, the symbol of water. We light our chalice and reflect on the light need to guide us, the light of our shared faith, the light of loving community, the light of love, joy, and hope.
And now, we're going to sing a hymn that's not in the hymnal. It's only on your screen. and it's called Round and Round. It's an anonymous solstice song. So we're going to sing it through a couple times together, and then we will sing Round and Round as a round. All right, Linda. Round and round the earth is turning, turning always round till morning, and from morning round to night. Round and round the earth is turning, turning always round till morning, and from morning round to... Folks over here start. Round and round the earth is... Now you. Round and round the earth is turning. Round to night. Let's go again. Round and round the earth is turning. Round and round the earth is turning. One last time. Round and round the earth is turning. Round and round the earth is turning. Turning always round till morning, and from morning round to night.
Well, this is the part where I usually invite you forward, but if you haven't noticed already, it's kind of crowded up here. So I am going to ask you to please stay where you are for the moment, but I do have a story that I really want to share with you. So yeah, seat right there, that's great. There is room up front if you want to move, that's fine. So here's a story that I have to tell you. This story comes from the San people who live in the Kalahari Desert in southern Africa. The Kalahari is one of the driest places in the world, and they have a story there, or so I'm told, about the time before the sun was in the sky. Now, before the sun was in the sky, it was very dark all the time, which makes sense when you think about it. And it was very cold all the time, which also makes sense. And one of the things that caused was that people didn't see very well where they were going and what they were doing. So there were a lot of accidents. And one day there was a group of children who were all playing together, and they were playing ball with a little yellow melon. Looked like one of those. And do you know, I found this out when I was learning about this story, that the melons that look like that, those little yellow melons are about this big, they grow in the Kalahari, that's where watermelons come from. Because most of the fruits and vegetables that we enjoy have been being farmed for at least a while, some of them many, many, many years, and farmers pick the version that they think will look best or taste best, or it has a certain quality that they want. And so the plant changes over time, the way that it's grown, the way that it's farmed. And so the watermelons that I'm used to are maybe like this big around, right? They got kind of an oval shape, they're green, and they're real sweet. And these are smaller, and they're round, and they're yellow, and from what I hear, they're not sweet at all. But they are a good source of water in the desert, so that's nice. And it turns out they're pretty good for playing ball with. So some children were playing ball with one of these melons, and, you know, one was batting it with a hand, or one was kicking it with a foot, you know, doing the things that you might do if you were playing ball with something. And somebody hit it in a particular way, and it went rolling off to the side, and it rolled so far that it hit a man who was sleeping on the ground. And it startled him. And when he startled and he woke up a little bit, he sort of flew his arm up in the air like that. And when he took his arm out, like he uncurled it from the way he'd been all bundled up, because he was sleeping nice and cozy on the ground in the dark, sunless world. When he threw his arm up like this, all this light shone out from his body, like he'd been hiding it. keeping it close to his chest. And the children were so surprised and so amazed, they looked over at the old man lying on the ground and they said, Grandfather, let some more of that light out. It's very nice. I can see better with it. It's warmer when it touches my face. Why don't you open your arms so we all can see it? He said, no. You better stay away from me. It would blind you and it would burn you if I were to open my arms that wide. Now, go away. I'm trying to sleep. Well, the children were not very pleased about this, but they went and they talked to some of the elders that they knew, some of the older women in their lives, and they explained the situation. They said, there's this old man, who's just sleeping outside of the village, and he has such a great and wonderful light inside of him, but he seems unwilling or unable or maybe afraid to let it shine. And the wise women listened to the story from the children. They said, okay, you were playing ball, right? So when you play ball, you kick it, you bounce it, you throw it in the air. Yep, that's right. That's pretty much what the game is, roughly speaking. Well, you children need to throw that old man up in the sky. Please don't take that as your life lesson from today's story. So they said, well, we can't do that. We're little kids, and it's a big guy, and we don't know how to do that. Said, no. If you try hard enough, you'll be able to do it. So the old man was still sleeping on the ground, minding his own business, I might add. And the children gathered around him, and they sort of shared a look like, are we really going to do this? Are we really going to try and do this? Okay, and 1, 2, here we go. They threw him up into the sky, and he was very surprised then. Much more surprised than when that ball knocked into him, I tell you what. And in his surprise, he reached out like, whoa, what is happening? And all of that light came pouring out of him. And he was not pleased to be flying through the air until he looked down. And he could see so much below. He could see all the people spread out. He could see their faces now. There was enough light to really see people's faces. He saw how they looked up to the sky and they smiled at him. He could see people working in the fields. He could see people tending fires. He could see the whole world. And it was beautiful. And he was so happy to be in the sky as the sun. And that night, after that first day that there was a sun in the sky, was the first night that the sun set. And the people were so happy that they had had a whole day of light and brightness, and it was warmer, and there was so much more to enjoy about the world and about life. And they sang, and they clapped, and they danced. Oh, they danced. And it was a wonderful first day and a first night. That is my story from the San people of southern Africa, about how there came to be a sun in the sky. I've already told you one lesson I hope that you won't take from this about pestering old men when they are trying to sleep, because that's not a good lesson to take. But I do think there is something here about sharing the light that we have inside of ourselves.
Trying to
with
throw
each
Kelly
other.
AJ up into the sky.
And with that, we're going to sing you to your classes.
I just want to take one moment to acknowledge that the song we're about to sing is part of a larger song that was written by one of our members, Dick Goldberg, who I see sitting right there. So let's all sing Kindness Lights Our World. Oh, you can make the world so bright, and you can turn the day from night, and to share your gifts and spread your light, and learn what you know. Have a good class. Thank you, Dick. I forgot that we have one more song. Dark of Winter, hymn number 55, Let's Rise in Body and or in Spirit. We'll sing both verses. Dark of winter, soft and still, your quiet calm surrounds me. Let my thoughts go where they will, ease my mind profoundly, and then my soul will sing a song, a blessed song of love eternal. Gentle darkness, soft and still, bring your quiet to me. Darkness, soothe my weary eyes, that I may see more clearly. When my heart with sorrow cries, comfort and caress me. And then my soul may hear a voice, a still small voice of love eternal. Darkness, when my fears arise, let your peace flow through me.
We've come to the season of waiting. The colors of autumn are gone. Leaves faded and fallen, the branches rise bare to the sky. The deep quiet and frozen beauty of winter are coming, but not quite yet. We are in the season in between. The world closes in on itself as breathing things hunker down, burrow in, drop to the bottom, and store up nurture for the long cold. Animals that we are, we feel in our bones the shuttering of the windows. Though freed from the need to burrow in, may we still find guidance in the rhythm that beats through our hearts. In this season of waiting, may we let ourselves slow down our pace, ease out from beneath the burden of our speed and bustle, our fretful worry, so that gratitude can saturate our days and color our nights. In this season of closing down, closing in, may our hearts stay open, urging open our doors to the stranger, our hands to the helpless, and our spirits to all that endlessly calls us back to life.
Our next story, the traditional tale for winter solstice. The story is told that in the beginning there were two gods who were brothers. And like many brothers, they struggled with each other for ascendance and power. One brother was the king of the forces of life, light and warmth. He wore a crown made of green oak branches and brought with him all growth and vitality, fertility and abundance. He was called the Oak King.
His brother was the king of the forces of death, cold, and darkness. He wore a crown made of the prickly holly branches and brought with him all withering, decay, stillness, hibernation. He was called the Holly King.
The brothers were identical in strength, and so year after year, the same pattern was repeated. Each year, the Oak King would grow strong and mighty, and during his time of dominance, the light would increase, bringing with it warmth and abundance. But each year, at the height of his power, he would be thrown down by the Holly King. In the wake of the Holly King's victory, the light would gradually wane. And as it did, cold would come and the land would go dormant. But at the height of the Holly King's power, he would be challenged again by the Oak King and would fall. And the cycle would repeat again and again and again.
Alone, the brothers were equals. But soon there came a race of beings known as people. The people watched this cycle, and pretty soon they began to take sides. The people loved light and warmth, and they feared darkness and cold. And so each year they would celebrate the victory of the Oak King, but they would mourn the victory of the Holly King. When the two struggled with each other, the people would lend their strength of their voices and their bodies, their minds, and their spirits to the Oak King. But the Holly King was without their support. And so, time went by. Over time, the people's adoration of warmth and light only grew, and so they began to invent ever new ways to find light in the darkness and warmth in the cold. And finally, if they wished it, they could spend all of their time in the light that they had created, and they could be warm all year long. But their efforts to stay always in the light and the warmth were not without consequences.
Generations passed and generations again, and the people did not at first notice the shifts in the balance. But finally, they could ignore it no longer. The people began to notice that darkness was disappearing from the land, driven out by millions of lights that the people had created. Animals, birds, plants, even people began to suffer the effects of light unbalanced by darkness. But it was not just darkness that was disappearing. Cold began to flee too. The whole world began to get warmer. Summer began sooner and lasted longer. Ice that had been frozen far longer than the longest memory of the oldest person in the land began to melt. Migrating birds and animals began to be confused about when to begin their migration. Plants found themselves rooted in climates that no longer supplied their needs. The air was changing. The winds that had brought rain and taken it away again began to flow in unexpected directions, causing drought here and flood there.
The people began to see that their support of warmth and light over cold and darkness had altered the balance of the whole world. They began, slowly, one at a time, to realize that the Holly King was dying. And for the first time, this thought filled them with fear. What would happen if the balance continued to be destroyed? Could they even survive in a world without the Holly King?
And in the world of the gods, the Oak King realized it too. And though they had been competitors all these many centuries, he also realized that he loved his brother deeply and could not live without him. And so the longest night came, and the Oak King and the Holly King met again. But this time the Oak King had no heart for the fight. He laid down his sword and spear. He came open-handed to his brother, who was struggling just to stay on his feet. The Oak King wrapped the Holly King in a tight embrace, and he promised to set aside their enmity and to help his brother heal.
On the night when he usually claimed ascendance, the Oak King realized that the world was already too warm and too light. And so he laid the great oak crown on the head of his brother, took his hand, and each supporting the other, they went out into the world to see what could be done to restore balance. I invite you now into a time of giving and receiving, in which we give freely and generously to this offering which sustains our congregation and also the wider community of which we are a part. Our gifts for this and all the other services throughout the holiday season provide a great deal of the funding that runs Just Dane's eviction prevention program. Sometimes the difference between a family being out on the street or staying in their home can be a little help with the rent. With your help, Just Dane and Joining Forces for Families are helping people to prevent eviction and homelessness. There are multiple ways to share your gifts this morning. Baskets are now being passed here in the auditorium for cash or checks, or as you'll see on the screen, you can donate directly from our website, fusmadison.org, and find the text to give information there as well. We thank you for your generosity and your faith in this life we create together.
We have come together to join in a celebration of darkness and light. We have come together out of the cold to fill this place with songs and stories and the warmth of people willing to share of themselves during this glorious season. Let us now join together in filling this space with light and wishes, using our own energy, our power, our hope, and goodwill to encourage the sun to return to us once again.
Spirit of life, ancestor of the stars and the sun, you who embrace the vastness of space and us along with it, be with us today. Hold us in our worry, our exhaustion, our grief. Keep us close as we sit with our truth, whatever that may be. Lead us to rest in the quiet, to find solace and renewal in this time of shifting light and dark.
You whose arms open with the spinning galaxies, help us to make room as you do for all that is. Open our hearts to our loved ones, our neighbors, the beings with whom we share this planet. Lead us to reach out to others in compassion. Turn us toward one another in mercy, right relationship, reconciliation.
You who have seen the rising and setting of suns, of seasons, of civilizations, remind us of all that we have learned from the history of the world and from our own histories. Give us the courage to face our mistakes and to repair them whenever possible. Help us understand our interdependence, our gravitational relatedness with all of the other spinning lives around us, and lead us to treat those relationships with care.
In this space filled with the people among us who shine like stars, this space filled with the sparkle of love and care, we give thanks for this moment to be together. May our senses be open to the beauty of this day, this season, our world. Blessed be.
And now, as the music plays, we invite you to come forward to light a candle for the solstice, bringing with you your hopes, your dreams for this season of darkness and light. Please come forward and help us fill this room with light and love and hope once again. Each week we gather, carrying in our hearts the joys and the losses of our days. We hold our own pain and celebration, and those of the ones we love. We share these here, knowing they are held gently in care and in support and in love. We light a candle for Phoebe Lewis, mother of Lloyd Egan, who is in hospice at St. John's on the Lake in Milwaukee. At the age of 94, her multiple myeloma has reached an untreatable state. We are grateful for the support and care she is receiving in these final days. We send our love and our strength to Lloyd, Pat, and their family as they travel these days with Phoebe. May they be filled with compassion, with memories, and with love. I only have one.
And we light a candle of memory, sorrow, and gratitude for the life of Cleo Lofsgordon, who passed away on December 8th. Cleo's been a part of our community for as long as any of us can remember, and she is deeply missed. We send our love to her daughter, Debbie, as she navigates these difficult days without her mom.
Will you join me now in a moment of meditation with these words from Elizabeth Strong? We find ourselves here in the midst of the season of celebration. Celebrations of the birth of new hope, of the festival of lights, of the returning of the light. The darkness of the year is lifting, and the time of light begins to grow longer. We have gathered with an anticipation of hope for peace on earth and in our homes. We have gathered in this season of celebrations seeking comfort to soften the pain and the losses our lives have suffered in the fast retreating year. We have gathered to worship joyfully within this season of celebrations with the tenderness and love of family and friends around us. Let us be embraced by the strength and power of this sacred space that we each bring as we create this beloved community. Let joy and sorrow join in the fullness of our living. Let the power and strength we embody join us together as we move through the seasons of celebration into a new year with a new vision of hope for peace on earth. Let us rest for a moment together, holding all that lives within our hearts. Blessed be, and amen.
There is a love holding us. There is a love holding all that we love. There is a love holding all. We rest in this love. Now let's rise in body and/or in spirit to sing "Deck the Hall." Deck the hall with boughs of holly, fa la 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 la. 'Tis the season to be jolly, fa la 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 la. Don we now our gay apparel, fa la 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 la. Troll the ancient Yuletide carol, fa la 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 la. Found the blazing Yule before us, fa la 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 chorus. Fa la 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 la. Follow me in merry measure. Fa la 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 la. While I tell of Yuletide treasure. Fa la 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 la. Fast away the old year passes. Fa la 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 la. Hail the new ye lads and lasses. Fa la 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 la. Sing we joyous all together. Fa la 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 la. Heedless of the wind and weather. Fa la 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 la.
On these dark nights, may we observe the stars. On these long nights, may we find rest. On these days of winter, may we feel warmth. And on all the days to come, may our minds see the infinity of space. May our bodies find rest. May our spirits always feel the warmth of community. Blessed be, go in peace, and please be seated for the postlude.